Hi, my name is Richard. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Vinyl Community channel. This is just my second video. I found again I try and do a contest entry, kind of helped me focus on some questions and topics. Again, I do not have a very extensive vinyl collection. I started this just several months ago. My music collection really is chiefly in CDs, but I have a few things to pick from. I thought today I would start with or get into Noted and Archives 500 subscribers contest. Congratulations with 500 subscribers. I believe Michael at the Noted and Archived. I just learned about your channel today after watching 45 RPM audiophile, Michael in Dusseldorf, and Massey talking and submitting kind of a joint contest entry. So with that, I'll just get into it and kind of work with what I have in my vinyl collection. So the first question is to show an unexpected record that I discovered, either blind buy or just something that I did not know about previously that surprised me. So it blew me away. I will show this album. This is a French progressive rock band in the Zool style of progressive rock. Fetus with Potemkin. This is, I kind of think of it as Mahavishnu Orchestra, maybe a little bit more approachable, if you will. That is just strictly related to my reference framework. There's certainly, I would not call this jazz fusion. Perhaps to the same degree you'd think of Mahavishnu Orchestra as jazz fusion. But I do really enjoy this album. I learned about it on a Prague collector Facebook group, which is a great group for discovering new music in that genre. There's no actual music posted, but I see some album covers and maybe a little bit of commentary. Something that has helped me push my boundaries. So I took a chance and really enjoyed this. Blew me away. I'll be frank, maybe it's a bit hard, a bit much perhaps. I wouldn't quite call it that, but I again really enjoyed it. Then the next question really is to show albums that shows the diversity or the spread or the greatest polarity as it's phrased in your collection. So I will start with kind of a more simpler form of electronic music. This is Kraftwerk with the album Trans-Europe Express. This is from the 2020 reissue on colored vinyl. Again, I think fairly simplistic in style, and along those lines, I particularly think about the track Showroom Dummies on this album. This is the Kraftwerk album that I really am the most familiar with, so I've had it on CDs for years. The contrast to that is something quite different. This is a classical album by Deutsche Grammophon label. The composer is Bela Bartok. Klavierkonzert Nummer 1 und Rhapsody by the Radio Symphony Orchestra of Berlin. The artists are Geza Anda and Ferenc Freixe, and I apologize, I may be butchering those names. What really brought me to Bartok is, I think he's an inspiration for various progressive rock artists as well. Frank Zappa being one artist that really enjoyed some more challenging classical music, if you will, some more avant-garde style. Next one is to show an album that you might be embarrassed to own, but you love it anyways. And hopefully you don't think of me as lazy, but I will show another Kraftwerk album. This is Radioactivity, Radioaktivität. I do have the English versions. I didn't learn that there were German versions before it was too late. Also made it been a little challenging to get the German versions here in the US at present. The only reason I say this is one, I don't really know all the albums by Kraftwerk from a long time ago. Some of their music, yes, but a lot of their music, no, including this album. I ended up buying all the reissues from last year, and maybe felt a little bit guilty about going so hard in, but I don't regret it. I have been enjoying the albums, still listening to them in between other things. So the embarrassment more relates to perhaps being a bit of a completist early on, but I'm glad I did. Prices are already going up in the US, it seems, depending upon where you go, if you're able to get it from a dealer, or if you have to go more on a flipper or secondhand market. Then show your most listened to album from your collection, old time and or most recently. Well, for me, since I have not been in vinyl for that long, those two things are about the same, really. So I'm gonna show Wilder, Dwellers of the Deep. This is a September or October 2020 released album by the Norwegian prog rock band. Their fifth album, really a great album. To me, it's almost already kind of up there in what could be regarded as a very classic progressive rock album, very much in line with I think of as Yes, Gentle Giant, and Crimson inspired 70s progressive rock style, rich sound, great cover art. I do like that with a lot of the progressive rock albums. They're very well made, very elaborate covers. I was able to get this on green vinyl. Not that I necessarily need a colored vinyl, but if I have a chance, I do go for the colored vinyl. And in this case, I pre-ordered the album, so I was able to get in on the covered vinyl of my choice, and not too many of them made, and I think very tough to get a hold of right now. Then the final question, really a two-part question, is who kind of brought you into the vinyl community? What channel did you learn this from? And I don't know that I can exactly pinpoint it, but I think I'll set my mark in where I understood that there was really a whole big vinyl community world out there on YouTube. And that was really as I was taking some time off over the holidays, and I was listening to or watching Michael's and Düsseldorf's 45 RPM audiophile channel, kind of before Christmas came around here, and that took me into a bunch of other channels that I have been enjoying now for the last several weeks. It's great diversity, different perspectives, pushing me to listen to some new music and think about some music differently, which I really appreciate. And then the last channel that I have seen and now subscribe to is Noted and Archived, which I just learned about today from 45 RPM Audiophiles and Massey's kind of joint contest response video to this channel, along with the pushing everybody to subscribe to Noted and Archived channel, which I now have done. So I appreciate the reference. I appreciate all the great channels out there. I hope you enjoyed my video, and again, congrats with 500 subscribers. Thank you very much.